Hi everybody, Adam Steele from Hot Pulse Studios here, and today we're going to talk about a limited edition speaker from Celestion called the G12-35XC. Now it's not got a very catchy name, but there is some interesting kind of mythology and history surrounding this speaker. So the way that I'm going to explain this is it's essentially a greenback, but it's also essentially a greenback from the early 60s, the Pulsonic cone style, if you will. A little bit of background there. The Pulsonic factory was the original people who made the speaker cones for Celestion, and there seems to have been, whether it's a myth or real, some kind of legend around the sound of those speaker cones. Unfortunately, in the 70s, the Pulsonic factory burned down, which means that that recipe or that method of manufacturing was forever lost. Recently, Celestion have decided to try and recreate that magic formula by making this speaker, the G12-35XC, but not exactly as the greenback at the time was. They've kind of reimagined it with a couple of small improvements. From what I can gather, the original greenback had two variants, the M and the H, the medium and the heavy magnet. Now the medium magnet one was a lower sensitivity, so it wasn't as loud. The heavy magnet one was really, as the name suggests, heavy. In a modern context, a lot of speakers now have a sensitivity rated at 100 decibels. The greenback has either 96 or 97, depending on which one you get, which means they're significantly quieter, which means you can't mix and match them. Whereas the G12H had 100 decibels, which is in line with the modern kind of standard, if you will. Today we're going to compare the G12-35XC to one of these. This is a greenback, although it's not actually green on the back, it's technically a black back. This is a G12H from the late 70s. This is one of the Kurt Müller cones. Müller? I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. And this was rescued from a PA cabinet, and this is from just after the Pulsonic factory burnt down, so this is kind of the new method as it was at the time. These are both 8-ohm speakers, and I'm doing the comparison using my Zilla 1x12 Fat Baby. This is a closed back 1x12, and nothing is changing in between these two tests. Let's just let you hear quickly a slightly clean, slightly open comparison using the PV Windsor, so it's got a little bit of breakup using one then the other back to back. Now there was definitely a difference there. Whether it's better or not, I'll leave for you to decide. Now we're going to compare what I'm sure some of you may find far more interesting. The greenback was always known for its classic rock tones. But before we talk about that, I wanted to talk very quickly about Patreon. Patreon is fan funding. That is to say that guys help us out with maybe $1 or so, and we can give back by giving you early access to our videos, direct access to me to ask all sorts of technical questions, and so on and so forth, including our eternal gratitude. If you guys help us with $1 a month, we'll mention you at the end of the video, and we'll also give you all the benefits I just listed. So that would be very appreciated. Now, on with the show. For this one, I'm using my Les Paul with bare knuckle pickup, the bare knuckle juggernaut in the bridge, and we're just going to hammer it and do something roughly in the style of an early Queen song, although it's technically not the same, so it's not copyrighted. And we're going to show you the rhythm back to back, and then we're going to show you the solo back to back, then we're going to compare all three together. Now you might ask, why didn't you compare this to a Greenback M? Because the Greenback M is so much lower sensitivity, the Greenback M would be significantly quieter in every comparison. And then you say, oh, but level match it. But then that gets really into the realms of perception and gets really difficult. At least with these two comparative speakers, they are the same sensitivity, so any more loudness or not loudness that you perceive is based entirely on the tone and not the design of the speaker. Bit of a technical note as well, these comparisons were performed not by me playing the same thing twice, but by me playing the same thing into the DI input of the Audient ID44 and then re-amping through the PV Windsor every time, so there's some form of consistency. That way it's exactly the same performance, done in exactly the same style, with all the same technical setup, so that there's no room really for any kind of error. And even with the mic positioning, the microphones were left in exactly the same place, and I swapped out the speaker by taking the back off the cabinet, removing the speaker from the back, and not moving anything in this entire setup. So the microphones were never touched, so I can absolutely guarantee that anything that you're hearing here is because of speaker difference. And before anyone says, yes, this speaker has been broken in. Hope this has been enlightening for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you catch us in the next video. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out our other videos, as you can find here, or check out our Facebook and Twitter, or our Patreon page, which helps us to make more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.